And a pleasant good evening to everyone. My name is Keith Williams, and welcome to the Arthur Showcase, the podcast where we showcase book authors, bloggers, video bloggers, publishers, social media influencers, and occasionally we have music artists that comes on our show from time to time, and we interview them as well. And so we have an independent artist that is here today. Her name is Jen Ash, and welcome to the show today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
So, it's a long story. So I grew up in France and I used to play professional basketball. And then I stopped everything and moved to LA to start doing music. So now I'm in LA and, creating music, writing, and doing it all. So yeah, that's where I'm at for now.
So you kind of like changed careers.
Yes, I did. It was a little scary, but it is what it is. So yeah, I stopped everything and I needed a change and a new start. So I moved to California. I packed my bags and just arrived here alone and yeah.
I was going to ask, why did you decide to change careers?
Well, basketball is like it was fun and it teach me a lot. It's a great educational things to do, sport. But at some point, when you turn 30, they don't really care about you. Women's sports, they don't pay you that much. So I was like, do I want to do that all my life? Knowing that at 30, they're just gonna like not being interested of signing me. So I had like a wake up call and I realized this is not what I want to do in the future. So I had the courage to just like stop and do something else.
So you was not born in the United States, is that correct?
No, I was born in Lebanon. But
You have
Lebanon,
family?
yeah,
Do you have family in the United States?
no, I don't have anybody.
Okay, so you're kind of here in the States with no family members.
No, I don't have any family members.
Oh, so I mean, what's that like?
Honestly, it's great. It's just you have, I mean, for me, it's hard because families sometimes they don't understand when you're creative, they don't understand what you're doing or what you want to do. So it's a lot of pressure and they question a lot of your life choices. So when I'm far away, it just give me peace so I don't have to like explain myself to them and I don't have this pressure. So I'm kind of like feeling like a lone wolf, but it's like it's freedom for me. And I love them, don't get me wrong, but it's just like it's a lot to handle. And I feel like now that I'm trying to like take my career to the next level, for me it's important to stay focused and not have distraction from like family.
Let's talk about your music career. So what kind of style of music do you play?
So my favorites is like R&B, 90s old school R&B. That's my to go to for sure. I'm trying to not stay in one genre because I like to explore different stuff and see what I can do with it. But the main one's going to be 90s R&B for sure.
In any artists from the 90s that you admire or kind of inspire you to have a music career?
Um, well, there's like this French artist that everybody knows. She's not doing R&B, but she's huge. It was Celine Dion. She's just like, you know, a beast when it in terms of music. Um, I love Amy Winehouse. I love all the era about like the girls band and the boys band with like Destiny Child and all those bands that were out. I felt like the music was amazing. Um, all the Nelly, Neo, Chris Brown when he just started, all those artists were kind of like the ones that I was looking at. I admire her first album of JLo, but then after I was like, I didn't really enjoy what she was doing. But her first album was very like inspiring, and I like the way she make herself turn into a brand, and now she does it all. So I'm like, I have so much respect for her just for that. And if I see a goal, I think I would get to her level of doing like acting and singing and producing and doing her own thing, because I don't think we should be limited of doing one thing if we don't want to.
Yeah, but I didn't know that, Los Angeles was the scene for, musicians. When you think of musicians, you think of the East Coast, like
Hmm.
Atlanta or New York or Philadelphia or Detroit
Yeah.
or Nashville.
Nashville. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, well, but don't get me wrong, you got West Coast rap, of course, in Los Angeles, but not so much in terms of like R&B singers or pop singers or anything like that. So I'm kind of curious. Are there a lot of musicians in Los Angeles?
Yes, there are a lot of musician and singer. Some of them are doing acting at the same time, so it's like more like music theater. That's why, like, I like both. I just feel like in LA, sometimes they don't appreciate the artist as much as they should, so they're just like kind of like taking advantage of everybody here. But I feel like now it's like a little everywhere.
Like like back
um
in the day, probably like the 70s and 80s, everybody has this dream of going to Los Angeles, Hollywood to either start an acting career or start a music career, and they'll just like give up everything and just go there, and hopefully, that they will make it.
mhm.
Is it still like that today, or
Well, there's something about the city. Every time I travel, I'm like, can't wait to come back to LA. So I think there's an energy here, um, of free spirit, and it's a very like artistic energy in town that it's hard for me to explain. But at the same time, you need to know how the business work, and not being naive about what's going on, because a lot of stories said, oh, like it just happened overnight, and I don't think that's true. I feel like we're putting a lot of work into our passion and our dream, and I don't think it happened overnight. I think it's a lot of work. I think it's a lot of consistency and hard work. So and I believe in the universe providing when you're ready. So I'm not, worried about when or how. I just follow my destiny. And I feel like I think LA it's a great city to do that. But I don't know about, meeting someone and then thing happen overnight. I don't believe in that.
oh yeah, that's most definitely the reality, unlike like if you watch TV, you have these type of people, they come in and they become an overnight success, and people get hooked on that. But in real life, it's not like that. So when it comes to, like, singing, do you have like your own style or flow?
Yeah, I think that the fact that English is my second language, it makes things a little different. when I put the rhythm of the words together. And I got criticized for that so many times. And with my accent too, people were telling me, you have to lose it, you have to like do this like this. And when I arrived, I was very like insecure, and I was listening to what people had to say. But with time, I realized that people just wanna through truthful artist and a real artist in front of them, and it doesn't matter where you come from. They want something different. They want something original. Um, so embrace who I am now, and even if um don't do stuff like American people here, I just embrace it, and I just own the fact that I'm different and from another country. So yeah, I think I have a different style because of that, because of where I come from and how I speak and my accent and everything.
Right. So I mean, we have like artists from like United Kingdom and Australia. We
Mhm.
know that they have in Great Britain they have like a English British accent, and then
Mhm.
in Australia, of course, they speak English, but it's like really uh a different accent. But when they sing, you can't tell. You
Yeah.
can't really tell, that they're from Great Britain or Australia.
Mhm.
Like for example, there's this group in the 80s called Loose End, right? Uh, they're from they're from Great Britain, but you can't tell. They're from Great Britain, but you can't tell.
Yeah.
And we had a couple of artists in the 80s and 90s. They're from Australia, that sings in the soft rock genre, but you can't tell they're from Australia.
Yeah, I just like I don't know why what it is when like you sing it goes away. I have no idea what it is because people were like, "Oh, it's funny because I hear you sing and it's not as strong as when you speak." So I don't know. It's the I guess it's the magic of it. I
Right.
have no explanation to this. I don't know how it happens or I have no idea.
Because in the States, for example, you have one male artist, when he speaks, he has a very deep voice, but when
Hmm.
he it's something totally different. And then on the flip side, we have a female music artist who, when she speaks, she has a high pitched voice, but
Hmm.
when she sings, her voice is regular. So, I mean, I find that, amazing how you can have a high pitched voice and you sing in like, you know, a normal pitch. That's 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 amazing. I mean, that's talent, right there. Same thing with the male artist that has a deep talking voice. But he's kind of like a little bit between baritone and tenor,
Hmm.
uh, somewhere somewhere in between there. So I kind of find that amazing. Now a lot of artists have like a unique sound to their voice. What would you say that is for you?
Um, I honestly think I have a different voice. Like I have a unique one, and I don't think it's up to me. I think that's the gift that I've been given when I was a kid. So I have everybody's like, "Oh, we know it's you" when the music starts, even if we don't see it. Um, so I'm grateful for that, but I don't think it has anything to do with me. I think it's just like is the way my voice sound, and I'm very grateful for it. I just work on my voice all the time because it's just such an amazing instrument, you know. And now I can do things that I couldn't do before. You just have to work on it. All this like high pitch and like lower range or very hard to hit, but now with some work you can do amazing things.
I think it's great that we have like music artists who've been singing for a while. They tend to, go back to like maybe a traditional 90s style or 80s style, or maybe 70s style of music. Like this group called Silk Sonic. They have this song called Leave the Door Open, but when you listen to it, it's like something coming out of the it's something like coming out of this. It's like 70s and 90s is like intertwined, with
Hmm.
so, and I thought that was unique. A lot of people say, yay, real music is, coming back, music that has, meaning, music that has a soothing sound. You know,
Yeah.
I beginning to see that it never went away per se. I know here in the States, it never went away. Uh it hasn't gotten much attention as it's getting now. It's getting more attention, just like it was, back in the 90s. We call that the silver age of music here.
Yeah.
Silver age of music here because that was like the last era, of music that have influential meaning, to it, not just the words, but the sound, as well. And I think that musically, we are returning to that.
Yeah, hopefully, because the last couple of years, I was like, what is that? Everybody was sounding the same. The lyrics were always like not totally appropriate. And I'm don't understand why all the labels and everybody in the music industry are promoting this, and it's sad. Okay, it makes money,
Right. Finally,
but but
finally.
but for how long, like you can promote, like artists back in the days were like artists for life. The last couple years you have artists that stay like a year in one song, and then something new happen, and then somebody new come up with like the same kind of song, and it's not good in the long term. So the labels are trying to make money fast, but they don't think long term, and we have not great music. So I'm happy that it's coming back.
So now you've been performing for what, about 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
What do you see yourself in the next 5 years or 10 years music?
Um, so one of my main goal, I really want to go back in Europe and go on tour there. I kind of want to prove everyone home that, you know, I'm like a successful story and prove everybody wrong. So that's my little ego talking. But that's where I want to be. I want to honestly live doing live music is the best feeling ever. It's just the energy that people are giving you is just I have no words. It's just it's another level. So I really want to meet everyone and be known worldwide and just travel and meet everybody. That's one of the main goal. And then I would love to like my music to be featured in film, because I'm also starting in the film industry. So that's a big thing for me. I really want to be a part of movies and TV shows.
So
And
you
yeah,
don't see yourself having, so you don't see yourself signing to like a record label or anything like that. You just want to remain independent.
I don't know yet. The problem is like I don't want to be taking advantage of. So if I can do it independently, I would rather do that, because now I think like I've learned how the other side of the business work. If somebody offer a deal and it's like a decent deal when they don't steal all my music, I'm okay for that for sure. But I don't agree with signing with someone that's just going to take 80% of what I make and I'm putting all the work. I think I get to a age now that I just want to own what I create, and the label sometimes they take advantage of the artist. But if I find a good label or a good management, I'm open to it for sure.
So copywriting music is like very important.
Mm.
Uh, so if you have not done that, I highly recommend that whatever songs that you have written and performed, that you get it copyrighted.
Yeah, it's done. Like nobody's taking anything. Like because every song has a story behind it that is like related to like what happened in my life, and I don't want to give that away to anyone. So yeah, I need to be careful of everything I'm writing, because it means a lot to me.
Right. I was going to ask you, well, what kind of things that you write about or sing about?
Well, most of the time, honestly, it's about how how my love life is a disaster, you know. But so I think a lot of people relate to that. It just
Oh, yeah,
depends,
absolutely.
you know. Like the other day, I did a live show. I was like, okay, tonight we're gonna talk about how my love life is a total disaster, and everybody was laughing in the room. So it's just it is the way it is. It happened to all of us. So by sharing my story to people, I feel like they relate to it and they connect to it better. And it's hard for me to like tell everything because it's just sometimes it hurts and you're like, okay, I need to tell everybody what's going on in my life, and that's the only thing that is just a little stressing. But it is what it is. You an artist, we're here for the bigger picture. We're here for people, not for us. So I'm happy to
Um,
share whatever they want to know.
so what kind of venues or places that you perform in?
So in LA, there's mostly like bars that have live events. I'm just trying right now to get to the hotels because I feel like I want to I want to reach a different vibe and people coming from other places that stay at hotels. So I really want to be known like in around the world. So I want to connect with people that travels. So I'm trying to get to the hotels right now. But it's just really bar live music. I perform at the Whiskey a Go Go. It's like a big live event place. It just depends. I'll take whatever. I'm always happy to play. Doesn't matter where.
You mentioned something that you would like to go on tour. Um,
Yeah.
what would that be like for you?
Um, what do you mean?
So what would be like for you to, go on tour?
So I feel like I would love the all, I play basketball. We went on the road all the time and you travel with the team and you have like you around people that understand you and or like you. And I feel like I'm missing the teamwork, the rehearsal. I'm missing that a lot. So for me, going on tours, like spending time with people I care about, and I'm sharing something that matters to me. So I really like that part of like putting a show together and be proud of each other. And I honestly enjoy traveling and seeing new places. So that's a plus for me if I just can spend a couple of days in like different city. And yeah, it's fun for me. I like to be on the go.
Do you trying to see I forgot the question I was going. Oh, do you play your own instrument?
No, because I'm not that good. I leave that to the professional. I mean, I'm getting better. Like I took some piano classes. I have a problem with patience when it comes to this thing, and reading the notes and stuff. I'm not good at following rules, so it's just hard for me. but I'm getting better, but not good enough to just perform playing an
So you
instrument.
have so you have kind of like a band that goes with you to play music.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So does your band has a name or
No, not right now. I honestly like call them whenever I have a show and depend on availability. Sometime it changed. Sometime I try to like stick with the same people because I really love them. But no, right now there's not a band name.
uh I would so we I did had a maybe a couple of weeks ago, or probably last month back in March, I had a musician to come on and I actually incorporate some of her songs into the podcast so that people can actually listen to them.
Hmm.
And it was a pretty good response, for that. So that's something that I try to do if we have a musical artist to come on the show, which is rare. Uh, we don't have a lot of musicians that come on the show. It's mostly like people who written books
Hmm.
that here, but also wanted to incorporate having musical artists to come on as well, because in a way they are an author. You know,
Yeah.
they are an author. They may not have a book in print, but they have a finished product in the form of a song, and they write words. So we decided to start inviting musical artists and bands to come on, and with that we like to incorporate a sample of their work on a podcast so that the people who are watching and listening, they can actually listen to some of the music. And who knows, people may ask, well, how can I purchase a copy of the song or something like that. I seen that in similar podcasts where they deal, strictly with music or entertainment or things of that nature, that they would incorporate some of the guests' work on their podcast as a sample to kind of promote what they're doing.
Hmm.
Tell me a little bit about some of the songs that you have written.
Um, well, which one? So many. Um,
How about the ones that are like really? How about the ones that are like dearest to you, most influential to you?
um, Let me think. I love all of them. It's hard. Let me think. One, well, All Alone is one of the first one I wrote. Um, it was a difficult one, um, because I went through like a heartbreak, and I remember it was late at night. I couldn't sleep, like literally crying like a baby. Now I laugh about it, but it wasn't funny. Um, and I was like, how can I just like let all this sadness, this frustration out? So I just write it down and I use it for the song. And I think it's one of my favorite because it's just like it's the first one. And I was very proud of myself, even if it's a little sad story. Um, but it means a lot to me because I was like, I can write because I didn't know I could write because English is my second language. So I was very insecure and uncomfortable with the language. So seeing that I could come up with something nice was a win for me. So this one is, yeah, it's very like it's one that I will always remember for sure.
If you was to, I know you've been here in United States long enough to kind of listen to a lot of the American artists here. Uh,
Mhm.
if you was to compare yourself to one of those artists, which one would it be and why?
I get a lot of um everybody's like, "Oh, you the next Lady Gaga." I was like, I just love her when she sings um in the movie A Star is Born. I just don't enjoy her eccentric side, so I don't think this is quite the fit for me. Um I I don't know because I'm like I don't want to like sound or look like anybody. So I'm just want to be myself. But if there's a goal, I really love Christina Aguilera. She's just a powerhouse, and for me, she's just amazing. So if I can get to that point, it will be awesome.
Well, I think that is acceptable that you do not want to be compared with any other artists out there, or to have a style similar to another artist. To be independent and creative is, I think that that is fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody was like, "So how do you come?" Yeah, the same question, and I'm like, I can't compare myself to any of them because I'm different. Like, and we all different, and I don't know why we should compare ourselves to somebody else. We all have our own path and our own road to take. So I don't think I mean, there's a goal, but like I can't compare myself to anybody. It's hard.
Yeah, I understand that. We're gonna get ready to close here. Um, just want to ask a few more questions. Do you have like any CDs that are out or anything?
So everything is on streaming, unfortunately, but this is how it works, right? So everything is on Spotify, Apple Music. Just type Jen Ash. I have my website, jenashmusic.com. Trying to make it easy for everybody. All my social media are Jen Ash Music. So that's where you can find everything. And music video on YouTube, just type Jen Ash and you'll find me.
So if somebody says, "Well, I want to listen to your music, in my car,"
Hmm.
would you be willing to do like make CDs for people?
Oh
So they
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I miss the CDs and vinyl time because it, it was nice. Now it's just all streaming and the streaming are just taking everything from everybody. So I'm not happy with it, but
Well,
I
yeah,
have
I
to
mean it's
play the
options.
game.
I mean, it's options. I prefer listening to CDs anyway, because a lot of the radio stations they play more commercials than they do
Hmm.
music. It wasn't like that back in the day, where it wasn't like that back in the day. Back in the day, like in the 80s, 90s, you hear more music than you heard commercials. But now, just like TV, is more they're inserting more commercials. And I'm like,
Hmm.
I don't like that. I was like, well, I'm not gonna pay for uh a satellite radio subscription.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
Yeah, they will. They yeah, they will. But the only way that, a person would like really benefit from that if they like advertise.
Yeah.
If they advertise their business, whether it's selling a product or service, or as a musician that they trying to get their music out to a much larger, audience. Then you have Sirius XM satellite, you have Pandora,
Hmm.
which is pretty cool. Or and then you have iTunes
Yeah.
and Amazon Music, of course. are some great options there. So did you mention how can people find you if they want to contact you?
Yeah, jennaashmusic.com, or my social media is Jenna Ash Music on everything.
Okay, is that the same thing? Like if someone says, I want to book you for an event, same thing.
Yeah, jennaashmusic@gmail.com.
Okay,
So
so she
easy.
has her own, so she has her own website. So, what made you decide to move to the United States?
I was tired of France. Everybody's so negative and closed-minded, and the family is so much pressure. So I was always attracted to the US because I was playing basketball, and I did couple basketball camp in New York, New Jersey. And I don't know why, but I always wanted to come and live here. So when I had the courage to do it, I just packed my bag and just moved to LA.
So, is it like different living here in the States than it is in Lebanon, where you was born, or France?
Well, Lebanon, I lived there 3 years because of the war. It was a little crazy. So my parents moved to France. Yeah, it's way different. It's just I just feel like here people are supporting you no matter what you do, no matter your life decisions. There's less judgment here. For example, you can just like go to the grocery store wearing your pajama and nobody's gonna say anything. If you do that in Europe, they're like, "What are you doing? Go home, go change, and go grocery shopping after." Here, nobody cares. Everybody's living their life, and that's the thing I like. A couple thing I miss about Europe is like probably the food and the quality of life, where everything is like there's not a lot of sugar in anything. So that's the missing part, the healthy part of it. But
About
there's
the
good and bad
culture.
everywhere.
I mean, I know the culture in Europe is like amazing. Is amazing. I mean, I would love to like just take a tour of Europe one day
Oh yeah.
and see
Uh,
all the fascinating sites and the culture and things of that nature. But as far as living there, you're saying what?
it's just hard because like they don't let you make money if you want to make money. The economy is like bad. So it's just like, what's the future? Because at the end of the day, if you want to do your project and you want to work hard, they don't let you do that. Like you like limited to a certain amount of time you have to work, and it's I don't like that. I'm not a lazy person, and I'm always like trying to move and get things done. So Europe is not the place for that.
So has
It's
it
the place
always
to chill.
so has it always been like that? Because I know musically, we had a lot of people that came out of Europe with a fantastic career. For example, you got the in the 60s, you had the Beatles
Yeah.
and the British
What?
Invasion. In the 70s, you had a Swedish group known as ABBA.
Yes. I remember ABBA.
They was very, they was very popular. In the 70s, and like I said earlier, you had this hip hop group called hip hop soul group. I called them. Hip hop soul, for those of you who don't know, it's like it's a combination of hip hop and R&B that they sing. Loose ends out of United Kingdom. Uh,
Hmm.
and then you have this lady, I forgot her name, starts with a B. She's from Iceland. She's from Iceland. And a couple of her songs appeared on a 2011 motion picture known as Sucker Punch.
Yeah. So I don't know about the music industry in Europe because I honestly wasn't in there. I was a basketball player, so I didn't know how music work in Europe. So I can't tell you. But
Well,
it's just like in everyday life, regular jobs is just it's just very bad.
from my understanding that a lot of Europeans embrace American music.
Yeah, because it's the American dream. We all like been brainwashed with that. It's like just go to America, everything's gonna be great.
As well as
So
American
y-
motion pictures,
yes,
as well. I mean, you don't hardly, ever see this breakout movie that's in Europe,
no.
per se. It's always movies in the United States that get most of the attention,
Hmm.
in Europe, and they're fascinated about that. The music is, as well. They're fascinated about that. Even American sports. Like for example, some from time to time, the NFL will play a couple of games in London, and they just like they really get a kick out of
Yeah,
it. So in other words, they are embracing American culture in that sense. But I would go there for the sights, the culture, and the food, if
the food
anything.
is amazing.
Right. Okay. So we're gonna get ready to close here, but before we
Okay,
do, it is a tradition here at the Australia broadcast section that we give the guests the last word. So, what would you like to tell the audience?
I would like to say thank you for listening to me and supporting me, because without any of you, I will be like probably nothing. So thank you for everyone, every support. It means a lot to me.
Well, I certainly appreciate you coming on here. I know myself, I've been having a busy schedule of community organizing work and community outreach work, and I'm juggling that along with podcasting. So yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah, I know. You when you go nonstop, you're like, when can I sleep? It's difficult. I know. I feel you.
Right. Is it right? So I mean, I just kind of sleep any way I can.
Yeah,
Whenever there's an opportunity,
exactly.
there I am. Okay. So we're going to get ready to close here, so I can get some rest.
Yes.
Tuesday is my 49th birthday. Uh,
Oh,
so
fun.
so for the next couple of days, I'll be out of commission,
Good. Good for you. That's awesome.
so that I can rest and enjoy my birthday. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and of course, we'll be back next week with another great guest. Hope you would tune in. And a couple of our podcasts are already into their sixth season. Particularly OBS Talk Show Presents started its sixth season a couple of weeks ago. A couple of weeks ago. So, but the Author Showcase, we're still in season five. It would be in sometime in May, where we'll be having our sixth season, and we'll have more exciting guests from all over the world. And we really appreciate the support of our listeners and viewers who tune in to Facebook, YouTube, and all major podcasting platforms. And so we just want to bring out what's real and what people are talking about. So thank you so much, Jen, for being part of the show. And for
Thank you.
everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll see you next week. Until then, have a great day.